Sheep farming. Wool has been utilized as a fabric source since before 10,000 BC, and it is still used in fashion, bedding, and carpets worldwide. To know how sheep farm works to produce wool, milk, and meat, keep watching. Sheep are also used to manufacture and sell lamb meat, lanolin wax, parchment paper, milk, and cheese. Wool isn't the only profitable product derived from sheep. Lanolin, an oily substance, is intended to protect sheep's skin from diseases and waterproof their coats. But humans have used it as a moisturizer for thousands of years. It can even be found in modern cosmetics such as lipsticks and mascara. Sheep farming is the practice of breeding, butchering sheep for meat, wool, and milk. Most sheep meat is derived from lambs killed at 6 to 8 months, which is only a fraction of their expected lifetime of 10 to 12 years. Adult sheep are slaughtered when they can no longer match the farmer's wool demands, since their wool output rapidly decreases as they age. Aside from meat, wool, and milk, byproducts like lanolin oil and sheepskin are valuable. Smaller, traditional farms have vanished, and massive industrialized factory farms have replaced them. Now, let's see how wool is manufactured. Starting from shearing, which is the method of collecting sheep wool. The majority of fleece selection comes from the edges and shoulders. Wherever it grows, they collect longer, better, gentler, and higher quality wool. Downy is then applied to the chest, midsection, and shanks. One sheep's fleece weighs 8 pounds and is stuffed into bags or bundles. Grease fleece is another term for fleece or recently sheared fleece because it includes sheep oil. It loses between 20 and 80% of its distinctive load when washing. Sort, length, fineness, snap, and strength are used to determine grade. Sorting is completed after fiber separation by bit and sight. Raw wool is unclean and polluted with natural compounds that must be removed before processing. It is cleaned or scoured by being gently agitated in tanks filled with warm water containing detergent. Then softly driven through the tank, squeezed between rollers, and transferred into another tank. It may travel through 4 or more tanks before being washed in pure water. Wool that has been scoured should not be allowed to dry fully. Around 12 to 16% of the moisture is retained in the fleece, allowing treatment of the filaments in subsequent handling. Wool becomes unmanageable after scrubbing. Thus, the threads must be treated with different oils to prevent them from becoming brittle. Oiling the threads also helps to lubricate them during the spinning process. Garnishing is the process of selecting and discarding worn and unneeded wool threads. The carding procedure introduces the distinction between woolen and worsted yarns. It straightens the fibers, making them parallel and eliminating a small amount of waste. Worsted yarn fibers are much straighter than woolen yarn fibers. The checked fleece will be gilled and combed before being turned into worsted yarn. The giling procedure removes the shorter staples and secures the fiber. This method removes 1 to 4 short strands. The brushed wool in this untwisted stand, known as the top, is then dragged out into roving. The long strands in the brushed roving that correspond to each other are ready to stick securely together when bent to make a fine, solid worsted yarn. Ewes can rear lambs in sheep milk production systems. The amount of time before the lambs are weaned, on the other hand, varies. Weaning lambs after 3 days and rearing them on milk replacer and creep feed is a typical production method. Ewes would most likely be milked twice a day in this circumstance. Another method would be to allow the lambs to breastfeed for 30 days. During this time, the ewes would only be milked once a day. Lactation lasts 100 days on average. The average number of lambings in milking sheep herds each year is 1.5. Nutrition is critical for the ewe. Intensive grazing can meet the majority of a ewe's calorie and protein needs. 2 to 3 pounds of shelled maize or similar energy grain may be required to ensure production and bodily condition. During the winter, 2 to 3 pounds of a 16 to 18% protein concentrate should be fed together with 2 to 3 pounds of excellent quality mixed hay. Dry ewes can be kept on pasture alone. Ewes may require more supplementary feed during the last 4 weeks before lambing, especially if given hay. Ewes are bred to be dry for brief periods in order to enhance milk production and boost the lambing rate. As a result, individuals must follow a proper eating plan that focuses on bodily conditions. The sheep and goat sector is concerned about pre-slaughter management. Stressing livestock before slaughter can negatively impact the meat these animals produce, including PSE and DFT. Preventing the mixing of various groups of animals, keeping cattle cool with appropriate ventilation, and minimizing overcrowding can help lessen pre-slaughter stress. Animals should be allowed to drink but not fed for 12 to 24 hours before slaughter to ensure full bleeding and ease of evisceration. As the slaughter process begins, sheep are held in a chute that restricts the animal's bodily mobility. Once restrained, the animal is stunned to guarantee a painless finish. Stunning also reduces the animal's stress and improves meat quality. Mechanical, electrical, and carbon dioxide gas stunning are the three most popular means of stunning. Each procedure results in the animal becoming unconscious. Mechanical stunning entails blasting a bolt through the animal's head with a pneumatic instrument or handgun. Electrical stunning involves passing an electric current through the animal's brain. CO2 stunning exposes the animal to a CO2 gas combination that serves as an anesthetic. Following stunning, the animals are frequently hung by a hind limb and carried down a conveyor line for slaughter. They are often bled by inserting a knife into the thoracic cavity and severing the carotid artery and jugular vein. This approach provides for the most efficient evacuation of blood from the body. After that, the meat is cut in the desired way. This brings us to the end of the video. Have you ever worked at a sheep farm? Comment below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.